Mbalenhle Bhengu, the esteemed entrepreneur and owner of MindSwitch, has released a book that sheds light in the darkness for entrepreneurs both new and seasoned. Her ultimate how-to of entrepreneurship, titled Selfish, Mastering Self in a Selfish Business World, offers both subjective advice stemming from long years of first-hand experience and practical tools that offer an edge to even the most flourishing new business. This morning, we review her book, and she joins us now to share more. Mbali, a very good morning to you. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to Morning Live.
Morning, how are you?
I'm very well, Mbali. Good to have you on the show. Now, this book is structured in 4 parts. Firstly, Genesis, the watershed moment, evolution, and revelation. What do you cover in each division?
All right, so thank you so much for having me on the show. Let's talk about Genesis. Genesis is the beginning of my entrepreneurial journey, where I had to leap out of corporate and really start embarking on a business journey. And I speak a lot about some of the pain points and the experiences that I went through. And the next phase then is really the watershed moment, where I share some of the business lessons that I learned during the course of my business. So I mention a lot of things such as leading as a woman entrepreneur, fronting in the business world, how do you handle industry ringleaders, and I start talking a lot really about some of the intricate subjects that we don't really talk about as entrepreneurs. And I then move on to the evolution. So the evolution is once again talking a lot about some of the intricate and controversial subjects around entrepreneurship. So how did I handle my mental health, my car repossession, losing my friends, losing, participating in social activities. And I then also move on then to the revelation part of it, where I start becoming a true form of myself. And really the whole book is captured around knowing yourself, because that sort of sets the foundation for where you're going. So those 4 parts have in total 28 business lessons, and very controversial, very insightful, but also issues that we don't really talk about as entrepreneurs.
Now, Mbali, you speak of black tax in the book and how for most it can set you back. How did you combat that?
Look, a black tax is still a very sensitive topic to Black professionals and also Black SMEs. And I think I'm in a stage of also trying to figure that out still within my business journey. But some of the things that I started doing is I've started initiating a passive income stream, so that when we do get to the end of the month and I cannot contribute at home, at least I have a bit in sort of the bank account that I can sort of contribute and say, there's more coming at the end of the month, but this is what I have for now. So it's an ongoing journey, and it's a sensitive topic. I speak a lot about it in the book, but it's quite an enjoyable read, and it triggers a lot of conversations within that part.
Yeah, and there's also so much debate around the issue of black tax and whether it really is black tax helping out your family and your people, and because it's supposed to be a responsibility for some. And what have you learned so far in your entrepreneurial journey?
Look, in my entrepreneurial journey, I've learned talking about value proposition. And always asking myself, why? Why am I doing this? Yes. Why am I here? Who am I doing it for? And then choosing a small audience to sort of captivate what I'm trying to do. So it's no longer really about everyone. It's about choosing a small audience and answering pain points, and then making sure that, that becomes my audience and my bread and butter. So it's consistently asking myself why. The second point really is to make sure that my finances are in check. So I keep learning that in my entrepreneurial journey.
And apart from, learning about value proposition, one other thing that stood out perhaps is your advice on avoiding too many meetings, as it were. How is that possible, Mbali, especially when you're just starting out a business?
Yes. Look, it is possible. We live in a digital economy, so everything right now is on our fingertips. And that specific chapter really speaks about being productive in a sensible way. So instead of rushing to meetings and going to all types of meetings, why don't you start assessing which meetings really require a physical meet and greet? And I think COVID-19 is a very good example where we start sort of understanding where exactly do we need to go with our businesses. So that specific chapter speaks to being sensible, and if you can say something via email, say it via email and be productive in that way. But if there is a physical meet and greet required, then of course you can go through. So avoiding too many meetings as well speaks to your cash flow, because the more meetings you go to, the more money you spend on coffee, on waitresses, and whatever the case might be to make it a productive meeting. So it really is an entrepreneur being savvy.
And why is mentorship so crucial when venturing into business?
Why is MindSwitch? Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Oh, why is mentorship so crucial when venturing into business, buddy? You got that, buddy?
Sorry, the audio is quite bad.
Okay, I'm talking about...
no, the audio is quite bad. You can just repeat yourself.
No worries, no worries. I'm talking about, the most important aspects of running a business is mentorship. Why is mentorship so crucial in starting and running a business?
Importance in running a business. We have trained many entrepreneurs to rural areas, as well as township areas, as well as urban areas. And, MindSwitch really, the crux of it is SME development. So when I started the company, I wanted to make sure that I impart some of the aspects that I have learned to others and to empower them in the process. So we do a lot of SME development, we do a lot of coaching, we do a lot of leadership seminars. We partner up with universities as well as corporates to do some executive coaching. So in a nutshell, that's who we are. We wanted to really tackle the SME markets and make sure that they are empowered in whatever they do. I think that was your question, if I'm mistaken. I couldn't hear you, sorry. The audio was a bit terrible.
No worries, buddy. But thank you so much for spending a few minutes of your time and just giving us valuable advice, especially for those entrepreneurs and those looking to start into business. Thank you so much for your time.
No problem. Thank you so much for having me.
Indeed, it's an absolute pleasure. Well, in her book titled Selfish, Mbalenhle shares all her hard-earned insights on the necessity of personal growth as an entrepreneur and how to achieve personal growth in a way that benefits both the individual and the business. This is Morning Live on SABC 2, or rather on SABC News. Thank you so much for joining us.